Hey there, I'm the Madcatster. Am I glad to see you here? Well, it seems like there's more shenanigans going on in Ace Family McBroom world, this time concerning Social Gloves 2 and Mr. Shady's ability to check the statistics. But we've got our sneaky way around, and I'm going to tell you all about the situation, so let's get into it. So Mr. Shady's here with Sybil the Enforcer this evening, and she's come to say hello, and she's come to say, please like and subscribe, but she's also got something new to announce. Well, you're probably saying, Mr. Shady, why are you wearing a Hollywood cap? Well, you're probably wondering if it's to remind myself fondly of the nostalgic days of Ace Fest and the good time that was had by all, but oh no, it's not. It's because of my new Hollywood murder mysteries scandal video series, for which I posted my first episode the day before yesterday in a live premiere. For those of you who joined me, thank you very much. For those of you who didn't, it's probably because you had no idea, because that video probably didn't pop up in your suggested videos because it wasn't about the damn Ace family. So please turn on your notification bell so that you'll know when I put up a video, because they're not all going to be about the Ace family. And unless you're getting my notifications, you're probably not going to see when a new video comes up. And I'd like you guys to see them because I got very good feedback from everybody who attended the premiere, and they really enjoyed the story. It's about a big time Hollywood actress who mysteriously died in 1935, and we talk about the whole story, plus a possible solution that arose a number of years ago from a first-hand player in the whole drama. But anyways, make sure you like, you subscribe, and turn on that notification bell. And when you're done here, go and watch that video. It's a change of pace from this freaking Ace family, don't you think? Anyways, Sybil and I want to talk to you about the nonsense that we encountered. And this story was so hot off the press that Mr. Shady didn't even change out of his loungewear before I came before the cameras. Goodness gracious. Anyways, so you probably recall a number of weeks ago, I talked about the state of the sales of tickets for Social Gloves 2 at the crypto arena, where Austin McBroom is attempting to resurrect the carcass that is Social Gloves, his failed experiment in social media meets boxing last year, and that the ticket sales were just doing mediocre. Well, he had his big press conference last week, the main event where it's about him, of course, and where he attempted to kidnap Deaf Noodles. Some of you may have seen that. That was a really freaky story. And anyways, I decided to go and do a follow-up since that press conference came out to see how are ticket sales doing now. I looked into it, and what did I run into? But a block, it appears, on my IP address when I tried to access the tickets. And you'll see here, I'll put up the screen I got so you'll know I'm not just making this up. When I attempted to access it from my laptop, my IP address came up on the tickets website and said I don't have access to that website and that my IP address has been blocked. So I wondered, must have something to do maybe with the criticism we heaped on this event, this prestigious event that's coming up on the 30th? Well, Mr. Shady is no dumb ditty. And I tell you, I have my workaround, so I used a completely different source to access that site, and of course, I gained access to it. And I'm going to show you now the state of sales, or the misstate of sales, for this coming event. And you'll see here, there has been some change, but not nearly what you would expect from an event that's, what now, 2 weeks away? Not even 2 weeks away. What is it? It'll be a week from Saturday, right? A week and a half from now. And you'll see, I'm going to put up all these different screens where what I did was I screenshot different parts of the arena where the tickets are for sale. And you can see all the blue dots are unsold tickets. The blue ones are not sold. So you can see here, it still looks like it's about almost half of the seats are still available. Now, I did hear that they announced at the press conference, and you can hear it right here.
The event will be shown live on pay-per-view on socialgloves.tv. Also, Integrated Sports Media will distribute the event across North America live on pay-per-view via DirecTV, In-Demand Dish, and Shaw Pay-Per-View.
They talk about the fact that it's going to be on pay-per-view, and there was some service that they talk about that it's going to be distributed through. But again, my question to that is, how much effect is that going to have? Because it doesn't seem still like enough marketing and enough time was invested in the promotion of this event. So who knows? We'll have to wait and see till after the event what the actual pay-per-view turnout is. But I smell another failure. I'm sorry. And I just want to say that, I don't know what it's going to take for the Ace family to learn that you've got to plan things well in advance. You can't just throw things together haphazardly. And as much as they try to put a spit polish on Ace Fest from a week and a half ago, by all accounts, even though it wasn't a failure, there certainly weren't the numbers that they would like you to believe that there were. I mean, the park was practically empty. And yes, there were a bunch of people in line, and I'm sure you probably heard the horrible, horrible story about how Austin McBroom encouraged people to get out of line to go get something to eat and use the restroom, and assured them they could come back and get back in line when the line died down a little bit. And then they went and they locked the doors. And that a lot of people, from what I heard and the videos and the eyewitness accounts that I saw, weren't able to get back in. These are people who paid how many hundreds of dollars for these tickets for the sole purpose, really, of this glorified meet and greet, and yet they were locked out and weren't able to pose for a selfie with the Ace family, if that's up your alley, or get their autograph for whatever reason. And it just sounds to me like this was just very poor planning. If you can't accommodate all the people who paid for VIP, including yours truly, I didn't get my meet and greet, then I think it's terrible. I feel bad for the kids that got locked out of that meet and greet part of the event. So, I don't know. Tell me down below. What do you think about all this? What do you think about these latest attempts to keep Mr. Shady from knowing the truth? And I also want to talk to you guys just briefly about what happened at said festival. First is, thank you so much, everyone, for your overwhelming support. I really appreciate it. There were only a small number of negative or nasty comments, and Mr. Shady dealt with those people in kind and disposed of them. But I want to make it clear, I'm not going to rehash the whole discrimination issue. I am not suing them for discrimination. I want to make that clear. There seemed to be some confusion. First of all, suing to try to get my money back is completely separate from discrimination allegations that would be made, or that any kind of suit or complaint that would get filed. They don't go hand in hand. They wouldn't be part of the same suit. So just because I have firsthand experience with discrimination, believe it or not, Mr. Shady works on discrimination cases I have two actually I'm working on right now as we speak. They are very difficult cases to win. Even if you're in the right or you have evidence, it's not a sure thing. It's a long, dragged out process. Frankly, the McBrooms aren't worth the emotional time and the effort it would take. And I would also have to file in California for that, because that would be something that I could not file for from my home state. And I think we've expended enough emotional energy over this whole mess that I just want to let that part of it go. I still want my money back. I want to be reimbursed for my trip out there, and I'm pursuing that, and I will update you. My own personal legal stuff is going to have to wait a few days, probably to the weekend, for me to get around to finally being able to devote some time to it, because I do work. This is not my job. So anyways, but I do appreciate all of your support. But I wanted to clarify that some people were concerned that they thought that, we were focusing on this discrimination aspect of it, and I wanted to make that clear that It doesn't change how I feel or what I think. I still stand by what I said. That said, I do intend to get my money back. So make no bones about that. I will be going after that. So I will update you. So I hope you guys understand. I hope you don't think that, you know, that I'm like backing off, because I'm not. I just wanted to clarify that what I'm suing for is the money part of it. The discrimination, is disgusting as it is, if I'm correct, is not something I want to tangle myself up in at this point. I try to be a realist in the things, and I try to be practical in things that I do. And I am an attorney, so I know from experience what the deal is. So, trust me when I tell you it's not worth it. Okay, so that doesn't, like I said, does not change how I feel. What I said, I stand by all of it. And I still feel that way. But it's not something that I want to go into the courts over. I know how this process works. It doesn't favor the people who filed the complaints, let me tell you. I just know the process, and it's not worth it, people. Trust me, it's not worth it. So I hope you guys understand that, and I hope you support that decision. But I will not stop going after the fact that I want my money back for them excluding us. And I know there's been, and please don't send me any more messages about, oh, they put up a sign. That stupid sign, frankly, means nothing in this context. They did not have the right to exclude us. We were not doing anything wrong. We were not causing a scene. We were not breaking the law. We purchased tickets in good faith, and then they refused to let us in. And not only did they refuse to let us in, they refused to give us our money back. So, it would have been something a little bit different if they had said, you can't come in, here's your money back. But they didn't do that, and they have no intention of giving us our money back. And they've made it clear on their website that they have no intention of refunding anybody, regardless of whether they change the event offerings or any of that, or deceive people in any aspect. They have no intention of giving the money back. I'm sure they can't afford to give the money back. I'm sure that they're scraping together as best they can the money to pay for their $50,000 a month house and all those luxury cars. And sadly, I don't think Social Gloves 2 is going to add much to the coffers either. But hey, if they had hired me to manage their marketing, they'd be in a whole different place right now, because I have a great deal of sales and marketing experience in my background. But anyways, so that's that. And, I want to move past the Ace family, as I've told you guys. So Hollywood, those stories, tell me if there are stories you want to hear. But please go watch those videos, because I think they're really good. Everybody seemed to enjoy them. I didn't get any negative comments about the video. It's an interesting story. There are a lot of interesting stories that I'm going to be talking about. I have firsthand, I actually went to the scene of the crime. It's literally still exactly the way it was in 1935. Literally. Everything, every material aspect about where it happened is still exactly the same. And the restaurant that she owned is still exactly the same, and it's still there. So it's a very interesting story. So go watch it. Please turn on your notification bell so that you'll know when I post these videos, because they're not going to pop up. I'm sure these Ace Family videos pop up in your suggested videos based on your history of watching my other Ace Family videos. But even if you're a subscriber, that doesn't mean you're going to see it. So please turn on the notification bell, and please do me a favor, go watch that story. It's a fresh change, a nice breath of fresh air from all of this Ace Family drama. And I think it's a welcome change of pace. So I'd appreciate your support. We love all of you. I'm going to put up all of my supporters here again. The Amazon Angels, thank you again. I came back from Hollywood with, and a couple days later, a bunch of packages arrived, and I'm so grateful, as always, to all of you who are patrons from Patreon. And those of you who are on Patreon, I hope you got my message. There's a video I did for you guys on my tour of Marilyn Monroe's cemetery and some of the notables buried there. It's not a long video, it's a short video. But I have some others I'm going to also be editing that of my trip to like the Getty Villa and stuff. That so if you haven't seen my message and you're a Patreon patron, please go check it out. I left a link in your messages on Patreon, from Patreon. And I want to thank the channel members. Thank you so much. We keep adding members, and I really appreciate that. And all of you who have supported us in any way, we are very grateful. Sybil says thank you very much. The other cats say thank you very much. They're all lolling about here in their nice new beds that they've gotten. But I appreciate all of you. Thank you so much. I'll be posting a video that's not about the Ace family in a couple of days. Another one. And then I'm going to be making another Hollywood scandal and mystery video this weekend. I'll be putting it up. So join me. Please go watch the Hollywood video, the murder mystery video. I love all of you. Thank you so much. And I will see you in the next one.
Pretty please. Subscribe, like, and hit the bell. I get a treat for every new sub. Thank you.